Now at 10, a harsh outcome for Packer fans around the state. We have the highlights from the NFC title game. And we're learning more about the victim of Madison's first homicide of 2020. Plus, how much will temperatures warm up as we head into the work week? Dana Fulton has a look at your forecast.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. The Green Bay Packers will not be headed to Miami for the Super Bowl. Kevin Lewis is here with a breakdown of the game. Kevin?
It's a breakdown of a beatdown, really. It was pretty simple. It was over pretty early. The Packers didn't play Packers football. They didn't establish Aaron Jones in the run game, didn't establish Javonte Adams in the passing game early enough. Their defense had no answers, and they also turned the ball over twice. The Niners scored twice off of those turnovers. 17-0 hole for Green Bay. The quarterback center exchange, going to work on that in the offseason. Corey Linsley, Aaron Rodgers not on the same page. 49ers would get a field goal. 20-0. Rodgers on 2nd and 15. Wants Geronimo Allison, doesn't find him. It's Emmanuel Mosley, and he plays for the other team. 27-0 at the half. This one really wasn't close. They tried to come back. Rodgers rolling, looking for Jay Sternberger, finding him, but not nearly enough. 37-20. The final score as Aaron Rodgers falls to 1-3 in NFC title games as a starter. The Niners go back to their first Super Bowl since February of 2013. Melissa Kim has post-game reaction from Santa Clara a little later on in sports.
Right.
That was ugly. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kevin. We continue our team coverage with Adam Duxter, who's in Santa Clara, with how fans are reacting. Probably like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Amanda, it's that special kind of hurt that you can only feel when the team you love and invest in loses. Because coming into today's game, it was the Packer fans who thought they were going to be booking their flights and their hotel rooms in Miami. But despite the loss, these fans still say they have a lot to feel hopeful for and confident for headed into years to come. They say they like this squad and feel like maybe next year or the year after that could be the year. We caught up with some of those fans headed out of Levi Stadium tonight.
It's a tough loss, but I think we still got a good team. Our defense was shaping up really well this year, so I mean, we just got to get better.
Every year at the beginning of the year, I say Green Bay is going to go to the Super Bowl. This year I was almost right. Next year we'll be back. Let's go Packers.
We got a lot of potential. I mean, we just didn't finish it out. We didn't execute. We had, fumbles, interceptions, and you can't do that in a big game like this. We had to run back at it, but just not enough time.
Now this week we met so many of the green and gold faithful and learned what makes them special fans is that, hey, they're not just with the team when they win, they're with the team through and through, even in times like this. Hopeful for the future, Amanda.
Hated fans no matter what. Thank you, Adam. And Dana, it was a good day to be inside and watch some football because it was pretty cold out.
Absolutely. Those wind chills coming through early this morning. So if you were bundled up inside with the green and gold on, it was a good idea because it is a little chilly still. Thankfully, our wind's backing off now. We did hit 21 this afternoon. Started the day off at 0 with wind chills and that 15 to 25 below range for early this morning. That's not going to be the case to start off your Monday. That's the good news. Right now, our high-resolution Doppler is pretty calm. We are expecting a smooth Monday wherever you have to drive to. Partly sunny skies, just a little cold outside. Otherwise, no hiccups on the road. We'll take a closer look at our next opportunity for some light snow and rain to build in just a few minutes. Amanda?
Thank you, Dana. Police are still working to identify suspects in Madison's first homicide of the year, one they believe was targeted. It happened on McKenna Boulevard and Raymond Road yesterday afternoon, right across from the West District Police Station. Madeline O'Neill tells us what we know today and what police are still trying to figure out.
Amanda, while we're still waiting for the victim's identity to be released, we now know the victim is a 20-year-old man with ties to both Madison and Chicago. He was found dead in an apartment that wasn't his. Police are trying to figure out any potential relationship with a tenant of that apartment and why he was there in the first place, along with what led up to his death.
I do like the West Side.
Monica Howard says this apartment complex is part of a close-knit community.
The neighbors have been great here for the most part. Obviously, there's this situation.
A situation that hits too close to home.
It's concerning, and it really needs to be more
community effort.
Her community is coming to terms with a homicide.
A lot of anxiety, trying to stay calm.
Madison's Violent Crime Unit is investigating the shooting, which happened right in the West District's backyard.
There are really a lot of question marks at this point.
What police do know is a 20-year-old man was found dead inside an apartment with several gunshot wounds, alone.
It's pretty quick in the year to have a homicide.
Public Information Officer Joel Despain says a couple of rounds of shots went into an adjoining apartment.
Fortunately, no one in that apartment was injured.
So far, police haven't identified suspects or a motive.
So we want to know what happened, who did this, and how this could not happen in the future.
Howard feels like crime has been getting closer to her doorstep, increasing in the Raymond Road corridor. Despain says, although police do respond to a number of calls in the area, he can't say it's any worse than other parts of the city.
Most of Madison's relatively safe, but certainly we are having our problems with gun issues. Even though our numbers of shots fired, they went down last year, we're still seeing way too many shots being fired. And in this case, unfortunately, we've had a very young person, a 20-year-old man who's lost his life.
With that hitting so close to home, Howard is asking community leaders and organizations to help make her neighborhood safer.
This is a great area to live in. Let's lower the crime.
Police say the tenant of the apartment where the victim was found is cooperating, telling them she wasn't home at the time of the crime. Now, if you saw anything in the area yesterday you think might be suspicious, police ask you give them a call.
All right, Maddie, thank you so much. 2 police officers in Hawaii are dead after a Sunday morning shooting near the scenic spot of Diamond Head. Honolulu police say the gunman set fire to a house after the shooting. That fire spread to at least 4 homes. Officials say the suspect was being evicted and stabbed his landlord. Police responded to the stabbing and were met by gunfire. The FBI is assisting with the investigation. President Trump's Senate impeachment trial is set to begin Tuesday. House impeachment managers are meeting behind closed doors preparing. President Trump's legal team has submitted its formal answer to the articles of impeachment, abuse of power, and obstruction of Congress. The White House plans to argue the impeachment articles allege no violation of law. It will also say the trial is the result of a flawed process in the House and that the case falls apart on the facts.
This week is going to be the first time America gets to hear President Trump's defense. We did not have due process in the House.
Ken Starr apparently thinks that asking a foreign government to involve itself in our elections is okay, but the president 20 years ago talking about a private sexual affair, that's impeachable. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Starr, the independent counsel who headed the investigation that led to President Clinton's 1998 impeachment, joined President Trump's defense team this week. President Trump denies both impeachment charges, calling them part of a witch hunt and a hoax. The school district of Beloit is looking to build trust between leadership, staff, and parents, and that started today with a public listening session. Gabriela Becerra joins us to share concerns from the district.
Amanda, the room was overflowing today with community members looking to improve the environment within the schools after the board president stepped down and the superintendent was forced to resign. Concerns ranged from curriculum and students testing below standards to professional development and leadership within the district. Parents say the current environment has been like this even before current leadership, and something needs to change. A teacher from Fran Fruzen Intermediate says teachers should be used as resources because they know what the students need firsthand.
Left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and we're not all united on the same page. And there's so many good teachers and so many good administrators in this district. I can't believe what good ones there are.
The school board listened and addressed concerns, but action was not taken today. At a school board meeting on Tuesday, new officer elections will be held and possibly a new superintendent will be announced.
All right, Gabby, thank you so much. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says they're investigating after a person was found dead Saturday. Sheriff Dave Mahoney told News 3 Now the body was of a missing person. Deputies found the body in the parking lot of a Blooming Grove McDonald's. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office will release the person's name at a later time. Governor Tony Evers is pushing lawmakers to pass a package of bills aimed at curbing youth vaping and educate the public about vaping dangers. Evers is requesting a bill that would ban vaping and vapor products on K-12 campuses and expand the definition of public health emergencies. Another bill would fund a public health campaign to address youth vaping. The governor's office says vaping products pose serious health risks to young users. The Diocese of La Crosse is joining other dioceses in naming clergy with substantiated accusations of child sexual abuse. The diocese identified 25 clergy members allegedly involved in child sexual abuse using an independent audit of church files. Most of the clergy members are now deceased, while others were removed or suspended, but none are in public ministry, according to the diocese. While the report says where the priest or deacon served, most do not say from which pastoral assignment the allegations originated. All of the clergy moved around multiple times with assignments in many parts of the diocese's 19-county area.
Your pain and suffering and anguish will always be a part of you.
On the diocese website, it says some allegations that were made decades after the reported conduct occurred cannot be substantiated. The statement goes on to say that it would be wrong and possibly defamatory to publicize those allegations. Community members are already honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. one day ahead of the holiday. Today, the Urban League hosted the Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Recognition Breakfast. At the breakfast, students of color were recognized for academic achievement and service to the community. La Follette student Savannah Lee was a recipient of the Betty Franklin Hammonds Scholarship. Hammonds was the first and only woman to lead the Urban League of Greater Madison. Lee says she wants to use the money as she pursues higher education, hopefully at UW-Madison.
Well, Martin Luther King was a very important person, especially for the Black community. So being here and receiving an award on this day is extremely important to me, especially as a Black student.
As part of the event, Spectrum announced it was awarding the Urban League of Greater Madison with a $25,000 grant to promote digital literacy. There's more to come at 10, including your full forecast, and a popular bar in Verona is under new ownership, how they're celebrating the change while honoring the past. After 28 years, the Riley Tavern is under new ownership. Earlier today, customers were invited to celebrate the transition at an end-of-an-era appreciation party hosted by the former owners. The new owners, Kate and Chuck, say they appreciate the history of the Riley Tavern.
We're really excited to be a part of the community here and hope to just build on some of the traditions that the customers have come to appreciate here at the Riley Tavern.
Customers can still look forward to Sunday pancake breakfasts at the Riley Tavern. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dana Fulton. Breakfast, a warm breakfast, sounded good this morning.
Yes, I'm never going to say no to a nice warm breakfast. It would have been great this morning. Our wind chills, of course, well below zero to start off the day. We have a mostly cloudy sky right now, but no flurry chances for us tonight. High pressure off to the west is going to continue to build on in, pushing these clouds on out of here. So that means for your Monday, plan on a partly sunny sky, and then for Tuesday, mostly sunny. So a very quiet start to the work week. It's not until later on in the week that we will have the chance for a little bit of rain and a little light snow building on in. Right now we're mostly cloudy. Our breeze from the northwest, that's that colder air coming through for tomorrow afternoon. Expect that partly sunny sky to come along, but again, wind from the northwest, so our temperatures are going to stay below average for Monday. Overnight heading into Tuesday, we become mostly clear, but our wind shifts directions, becomes more of a southwest flow, and that's going to help our temperatures for Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday climb up just a little bit more. Our wind gusts right now are in the low teens. They've really backed off from where we're at this morning, and they're going to continue to die down overnight heading into Monday. It's not going to feel as cold outside. That's the good news. We're going to take away that wind chill for early Monday morning. Our sustained wind speeds will be in the single digits. That puts our wind chills close to zero, while our actual temperatures will be falling to about 7-8 degrees for our overnight lows. So we'll feel just a little colder than our actual temperatures for early on Monday. But it's not going to be bitterly cold like it was this morning. Tomorrow, plan on high temperatures in the upper teens, partly sunny sky. Again, not quite as cold outside, still below average, but it won't feel quite as chilly. For Tuesday, we're in the low 20s with mostly sunny skies. Wednesday is when our next chance for a little rain and snow will build back on in, starting to develop late in the day on Wednesday. And then for Thursday and Friday, that rain and snow chance continues through the afternoon as temperatures in the afternoon climb to the upper 30s. Making that rain chance kind of develop early in the day with snow likely at night. For the following weekend, we're in the mid-30s for afternoon highs. Some snow possible on Saturday with a slight chance as we head into a Sunday. So that's something that we'll be keeping a close eye on for the second half of the week with some rain and snow building on in. So we'll be watching that system closely. Still just a little too far out as far as timing with that one. But again, this morning was very cold outside, and that's not going to be the case as we head into Monday.
So we'll see what the temperature's like if it's rain or snow.
Yes, for the afternoon. If it's up in the mid-upper 30s, then yeah, we'll be looking at more of a rain event, and that's always just a little bit harder to pre-plan for.
Yeah, and on top of all the snow.
Right.
All right, thank you so much, Dana. Coming up, post-game reaction after the Packers lose in the NFC Championship game. Melissa Kim takes us inside the locker room next.
News 3.
They say the sequel is never as good as the original. If you're a Packers fan, the sequel was the worst movie you've ever seen. Second time around versus the 49ers ended in a beatdown. The Packers fell behind and never got up. Trailing 10-0. Aaron Rodgers is under siege in the first half. Drops back, gets hit, ball comes loose. Packers fell on it. They'd have to punt, and it wasn't a very good punt. Raheem Mostert. Oh, he had himself a day. He had himself 2 days worth. Touchdown makes it 17-0 home team, and the Packers could never get going. Same score. Rodgers and Corey Linsley, they don't have the center quarterback exchange thing down yet. DeForest Buckner recovers. That led to a field goal. And Rodgers drops back, down 20-0 minutes ago, first half. Emmanuel Mosley feeling like a thief. And the 49ers had plenty of time, apparently. Mostert had 220 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. 49ers win 37-20, the final score. Melissa Kim is in Santa Clara. She had to endure the entire thing in person. For that, I apologize. She joins us live from Levi Stadium with sound from the locker room. Melissa.
Yeah, hey there, Kevin. You were talking about how, the whole sequel situation. Well, they were hoping that the Packers were hoping that this was a sequel that they never had to watch in the theaters. Out here right now, the 49ers fans still on the field, still pretty loud out here. The Packers locker room, the complete opposite. Very, very quiet. When I went in there, a lot of the guys on defense especially were sitting there at their lockers, just head in their hands, not really talking to anybody. Very, very quiet. Tramon Williams telling me that's because, they really got outplayed, especially in that first half of the game. And Aaron Rodgers echoing those thoughts after the game, saying that pretty much everything that could have gone wrong for the Packers went wrong.
But, not getting that first third down, midfield would have helped for sure. We just weren't very consistent. First half, made a couple mistakes personally that hurt us and kind of let it get away from us.
We don't ever quit. I don't think anybody in here thought we were out, no matter how bad we were playing in that first half. So that's what, you saw the fight. It continued, and everybody, continued to spark each other and try to keep a good morale on the sideline. So, like I said, it was just a race against time, and we ran out of time and had to get desperate at the end.
And, Tramon Williams echoing those thoughts, talking about the resilience of this team. Davante Adams also after the game, very complimentary of first-year head coach Matt LaFleur. He made history this season, becoming the first ever Packers head coach to lead the team to the playoffs and also compiling a 14-4 record, Kevin.
Thank you very much for your work this weekend. Safe travels tomorrow. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid was 1-8 against the Titans in his career. He was 1-5 in conference championship games as a head coach. The recent history of the Chiefs reads like a book of postseason disappointment, but not today, hosting the Tennessee Titans. Oh, and Patrick Mahomes was pumped with good reason because they like playing from behind for some reason. It works for them. Tyreek Hill, touchdown. They made it 17-14. Same score. Mahomes, one of the best runs you'll see in the postseason or the regular season. Tiptoes down the sidelines, and 27 yards later, he spins into the end zone for a touchdown. It's 28-17, 3rd and 6. Mahomes decides that 6 yards, not enough. Going to Sammy Watkins, 60 sounds much better. And to put a touchdown after it, looks pretty good. Chiefs win 35-24. They're going to their first Super Bowl in 50 years. A little basketball action. Wisconsin women hosting Iowa. Anaya Beverly, top of the key three. Splash. Badgers led by 15 at halftime, but Iowa would come back and take the lead. Beverly says not so fast. 16 points for Bucky, but Iowa goes to Monica Zinano, and she gives them the lead for good. Hawkeyes win 85-78. The Badgers 1-6 in conference play, but the Packer season comes to an end 2 weeks from today. They were hoping they'd be in Miami on South Beach getting ready, or maybe celebrating after a Super Bowl win, but they'll have to wait until next year. Matt LaFleur, a very good first season, but the Packer season comes to an end at the hands of the Niners.
Yeah, trying to look at it in a positive light a little bit. They had a good run.
It was glasses like 3/4 full, third full, something like that, 2/3 full. You will.
Something like
yeah,
that.
All right.
We'll be right back. All right, so it's going to get not as cold, and it's mainly because of that wind. That wind today.
Yes,
Oh,
when you take away that wind, temperature-wise, it's going to be a little similar, actually. We're going to fall to about 7 overnight. We fell to 0 this morning, but when you pull away that wind chills, still cold outside, but not quite as cold. For Monday, partly sunny skies, high temperatures back in the upper teens. Tuesday will be mostly sunny with high temperatures in the lower 20s. And then our next opportunity for a little rain-snow mix will start to develop on Wednesday late in the day. See a little bit of snow come through before it's back to that mixed precipitation for Thursday for most of the day, and the same goes for Friday. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that system. Not expecting a lot of accumulation, but of course, any rain mixing with snow, mixing with freezing drizzle can cause some messy situations. Next weekend, we're expecting temperatures to be in the mid-30s with a light snow chance for Saturday and a slight chance on Sunday. The following week, seasonable temperatures in the low 30s as well. So no big jumps or drops with our temperatures as we look ahead through the next 10 days.
Winter cold.
Yes, just cold.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. Have a good night.